After breaking up, due to the power of mysterious software, she turned into Fox's sister. Coincidentally, Fox's sister, who happened to be on the start of school, could only hide her identity and go to report. However, the paper could not contain the fire. What will happen to Wan Yanxi, who was discovered by Yin Yuexi as Fox's mother? Chapter 1. Accidentally becoming a Fox mother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So, I've never liked you before, let's call it a day. The young girl in front of him turned around mercilessly and left, while the boy named Wan Yanxi could only stay in place. Although he had a premonition that this day would come, when he truly faced it, his heart couldn't stop the pain, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. I thought I had no heart, I didn't expect it to hurt so much. His gaze never left the girl's back, but he never saw her clearly. Even though he tried to wipe away his tears with his hands, he still couldn't see her back clearly, nor did he have the courage to catch up because he had already given up. Hey, come out and drink with me right away, come over to my house. What's wrong? Look at what you said, it's a breakup. Stop talking nonsense, you're a jerk. Okay. Hang up the phone. Wan Yanxi found a barbecue stall, ordered some dishes and drinks, and finally asked for 2 boxes of beer. After sitting in a small corner, he opened a bottle of beer and started blowing it to his mouth, letting the alcohol dilute her shadow. Oh, can you handle drinking so much in 10 minutes? Huan Ting, stop talking nonsense and sit down and drink together. Okay. Huan Ting, wearing a striped shirt, sat opposite Wan Yanxi and looked at 5 or 6 empty wine bottles on the table. He spoke up and advised, Yanxi, drink less. It's not worth hurting yourself for her. As he was about to snatch the wine bottle from his hand, Wan Yanxi cleverly slapped it away. Who misses her? Don't mention her to me, I just want to drink today, come on. Wan Yanxi opened a bottle of beer and placed it in front of Huan Ting, picking up the remaining half bottle of beer and wanting to touch it with him. Huan Ting shook his head helplessly, picked up a bottle and touched it with him. He had been drinking like this with Wan Yanxi countless times, and every time he would get himself drunk. Now that he had drunk so much, he clearly felt that Wan Yanxi was a bit drunk. He watched helplessly as he drank half a bottle of beer and followed suit. Ha, come on, keep going. Seeing Huan Ting so cheerful, Wan Yanxi immediately opened another bottle of beer. When he picked up the bottle, a sudden dizziness surged up and he couldn't hold it firmly, almost dropping it. Alright, stop drinking. Seeing Wan Yanxi like this, Huan Ting couldn't bear it and wanted to stop him, but Wan Yanxi pushed him away. Let me drink. Don't stop me. Wan Yanxi sucked his nose twice, holding the bottle in his hand. The sourness echoed at the tip of his nose, and the drunkenness blurred his vision. Regardless of the situation, he picked up the bottle and lifted his head to pour it into his mouth. In the end, he couldn't resist it and lay drunk on the table. Although his eyes were open, his consciousness was no longer clear. Huan Ting walked up to Wan Yanxi and said, Alright, stop drinking. I'll take you back. No, I still need to drink. Wan Yanxi was still showing off, but in reality, he was so drunk that he didn't even know what he was talking about. Huan Ting saw his appearance and knew in his heart that he was really uncomfortable. After all, they had been talking about their relationship for 3 years, and the result was that he was betrayed by her. It was impossible to say he didn't feel uncomfortable, but he still had to make it through. After settling the account, Huan Ting picked up Wan Yanxi and walked towards his place of residence. Dong dong dong, stands in front of a door with the number 202, waiting for the door to open. After the pitch-black door opened, a woman who was about 1.6 meters tall and wearing loose pajamas stood at the door, smelling a strong smell of alcohol. When she saw Wan Yanxi, who was already drunk, she was surprised and said, Oh, why did he get so drunk again and dirty his clothes? Ling, let him in first. It looks like he's about to vomit. As expected, Huan Ting and Qi Ling carried Wan Yanxi into the room and walked towards the direction of the toilet. Before Wan Yanxi could reach him, he rushed to the toilet and started vomiting. I knew it. Huan Ting looked at his expected appearance and walked to the living room to pour him a glass of warm water. Qi Ling squatted beside Wan Yanxi, gently patting his back to make him feel better. She took off his dirty clothes and helped him scrub his upper body. Ling Jie, let me come. You go prepare a clean outfit. Huan Ting asked Wan Yanxi to drink a glass of warm water to wake him up, while Qi Ling got up and went to Wan Yanxi's room to bring a clean outfit. After struggling for almost an hour, the two finally settled Wan Yanxi in place. Did he break up with someone else? Qi Ling asked, tilting her head because she saw what Wan Yanxi had said and just wanted to confirm if her guess was correct. Huan Ting nodded and said, tonight we just split up. Speaking of which, Yanxi is really pitiful. No one expected this to happen. Qi Ling sighed and said, alas, we've been together for 3 years, and in the end, someone else cheated. What can we do? Yanxi has such a personality, but he has to overcome this hurdle no matter what. Huan Ting stood up and said, yes, everything has happened and we can only face it. I'll leave first. If you need my help, please call me anytime. After seeing off Huan Ting, Qi Ling quietly opened Wan Yanxi's door and saw that he was already asleep. She didn't ask him anything more and gently closed the door, no longer disturbing him. Now she needed to give him a quiet space. In the middle of the night, Wan Yanxi, who couldn't sleep, picked up her phone and habitually opened the chat box with her. However, she suddenly remembered that a few hours ago, they had already broken up and wanted to send a message, only to see that the other party had blacklisted you. His dim eyes stared at the screen, unsure of what he was thinking. He just stared at the screen, dimmed and lit it up again, flipping through their past chat records, recalling the beauty and unhappiness of the past. All the images flashed through his mind, but they were already in the past tense. What's the use of recalling these? Finally, Wan Yanxi clicked on the delete interface and stared at the location of the deletion. He didn't click for a long time, but the screen remained on. After more than 20 minutes, Wan Yanxi still pressed the delete button and then deleted all the contact information about her. Nothing was left behind, but the image in his mind couldn't be forgotten. I'll never see you again. Wan Yanxi immediately clicked on a software called Fox Ear, and clicked on the fox ear girl wearing Japanese kimono on the screen. In the input box, he typed a sentence, I don't want to date anymore. Turn off and go to sleep. Yanxi, get up and eat. It's almost noon, don't forget to report. At the moment Qi Ling opened the door, she saw Wan Yanxi lying in bed, sleeping soundly. However, why did he have a pair of fox ears on his head? More importantly, his chest was clearly bulging, and there was a head of silver-white hair, which made her eyes widen. Chapter 2. Encounter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, Ling, stop making trouble, ha ha ha, it's so itchy, ha ha ha, Ling, don't, stop making trouble, get up. Being tickled by Sister Ling, Wan Yanxi felt completely sleepy. He sat up and rubbed his eyes. I advise you to look at yourself in the mirror. Ling stood by the window, pulled open the curtains, and said with a hint of surprise. What does that mean? It means literally. Wan Yanxi felt that Ling Jie had something to say. He put on his slippers and walked slowly to the floor mirror. He didn't know what to do, but at first glance, he was startled. What's going on? These ears, this face, and this. Wan Yanxi grabbed the bulge on his chest with both hands, his cheeks quickly burning hot, and quickly shook his hand away, staring at himself in the mirror. His snow-white long hair, fair skin, cute with a hint of childishness mixed in, his delicate facial features, and a pair of water-like eyes, looking at the current fox-eared girl, I can't find any words to describe my surprise. I think it's quite cute. Ling Jie walked up to touch the fox ears on Wan Yanxi's head. The fox ears were only 7 or 8 centimeters long, but the texture was particularly good. How could this be? What exactly happened last night? All that Wan Yanxi could think of was the app on his phone, the only possibility. Alright, it's already like this. I think you'll only be able to do this for a while. I'll take you to school when you change clothes. Ling Jie hugged him from behind and touched his little head. No, she should be using her at this time. Ling Jie, why are you taller than me? Wan Yanxi looked at Ling Jie in the mirror, who was slightly taller than himself, feeling a little uncomfortable. Ling smiled and said, that's because you've become shorter, not because I've become taller. After saying that, she didn't forget to touch her head again. My voice has changed no matter what. Isn't this better? It sounds quite pleasant. Wan Yanxi sighed helplessly, feeling a bit uncomfortable wearing his loose clothes and occasionally revealing some inappropriate things. He immediately wrapped his clothes tightly. I happen to have some clothes that I haven't worn yet, which should fit your current figure. I'll go get them for you, and you go wash them first. Ling Jie left the room, leaving Wan Yanxi standing alone in front of the mirror in a daze. It has to be said that Wan Yanxi still quite likes the appearance of this fox-eared girl now, just like what he saw in the anime. Thinking of this, Wan Yanxi slowly lifted his hand and grabbed his fox ear, feeling a little pain. It was only then that he was convinced that he had truly become a fox-eared girl. It's really troublesome now. What's wrong? Wan Yanxi heard Ling Jie's sighs coming from the next room and walked to the next room. Seeing Ling Jie holding her underwear in her hand, Wan Yanxi couldn't help but be taken aback, and her cheeks began to heat up. Qiling saw Wan Yanxi standing at the door and asked her to come and try it out. I'm still having a headache about what size fits you. Come and try it out, she said upon hearing Qiling's words. Wan Yanxi felt an exclamation mark in his heart and quickly waved his hand, saying, No, I don't think I need it. Qiling didn't wait for her to run away. She walked 2 steps to Wan Yanxi, grabbed her hand, and a sly smile appeared on her face. That's not enough. I'll teach you how to take care of your body, she said. Done. Wan Yanxi only wanted to escape from Qiling's palm in his heart, but even if he tried hard to break free, his strength was not enough for Qiling. In the end, he was forcibly dragged into the room by Qiling. Take off your clothes. Can we not take it off? How do I know what size is suitable for you if you don't take it off? Wan Yanxi had nothing to refute. He slowly unbuttoned his clothes, took off his clothes with a helpless expression, and stood in front of Qiling naked. Hurry up, he said. Qiling smiled and said, what's shy about? I'm not a bad person. You look like a bad person. Qiling remained silent and measured Wan Yanxi's chest circumference with a rope ruler. Wan Yanxi called out in a low voice, just because Qiling's hand touched somewhere, as if she had been electrocuted. Alright, I roughly know. Qiling brought a sky blue underwear and asked Wan Yanxi to put it on. Wan Yanxi looked at his underwear and pondered for a few seconds before whispering, do you really want to wear it? Qiling nodded heavily and said, of course, you're a girl now. It's not good for your development not to wear underwear. Wan Yanxi was still struggling in her heart, but in the end, she compromised. Reluctantly, there was no way she could do it. Who made her a true girl now? After putting on her underwear, Qiling saw Wan Yanxi still wearing pajamas and suddenly took off her pants, followed by a scream that echoed throughout the room. Oh, what's wrong with you? Wan Yanxi ignored Qiling, who was following behind, and his mind was filled with images of him wearing clothes before. I'm not angry. Even if you're not angry, you can't wait for your sister. Sitting in the car, Qiling was driving, and Wan Yanxi was sitting in the passenger seat, wearing a white hat on his head and a light blue dress. However, the cool feeling beneath him still made Wan Yanxi feel insecure. Now that he has completely become a girl, he can only get used to it. Have you decided what club to join in college? Qiling's words reminded Wan Yanxi that today is the day when college starts, and she didn't expect the summer vacation to end like this after the college entrance examination. I don't know, I want to take a look first. Qiling nodded and said, okay, let's get to know more. Upon arriving at the destination, Qiling left Wan Yanxi behind and drove away. She said she had something to do and wanted to return to the company. After she registered, she went home on her own. The signs of each college had already been set up on both sides of the road. Wan Yanxi held the admission letter in her hand, searching for the college she had admitted to while grabbing the hat on top of her head to sneak through the crowd. Perhaps because she was too short, she was always pushed aside, but she kept clinging to her hat tightly. Otherwise, if her fox ears were exposed, she would be finished. Oh my, I'm exhausted. Wan Yanxi finally finished registering. Fortunately there were no steps that needed facial recognition, otherwise she would definitely not be able to recognize her like this now. Thinking that going home is also about playing games, it's better to stroll around the campus and get familiar with the environment. Oh my, could you please make way for me? Wan Yanxi, walking on the road with headphones on, didn't hear any sound coming from behind, and the people behind him didn't notice either. It was too late to dodge when he wanted to. Wan Yanxi heard the hurried footsteps behind him and turned his head out of curiosity. Just then, the two collided. Chapter 3. What is the tale? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh, it hurts so much. Wan Yanxi slowly stood up, rubbed his painful buttocks, as well as the forehead he had just hit. He saw scattered books and a black-haired girl sitting on the ground. Are you okay? Wan Yanxi hurriedly walked towards the black-haired girl, reached out his hand to her, wanting to pull her up. The black-haired girl saw her outstretched hand and smiled, saying, "Thank you, I'm fine, it's all my fault for not paying attention." She grabbed her hand, slowly stood up, and looked up at Wan Yanxi from bottom to top until she finally saw her face, as well as a pair of particularly prominent fox ears on top of her head, with pupils slightly dilated. The fox ears on your head are really beautiful, quite realistic. Really? Wan Yanxi didn't even realize that the hat he was wearing on his head was missing, until the black-haired girl in front of him said so and immediately lowered his head to look for his hat. Yeah, it's really real. Wan Yanxi awkwardly smiled, picked up the hat from the ground, immediately put it on his head, covered the fox ears above his head, and took a deep breath. Fortunately, the black-haired girl thought it was just a fake. Wow, so you still have a tail. It's quite similar. Are you playing cos? Upon hearing this, Wan Yanxi burst into a cold sweat and dared not turn back to look at the girl's expression at this moment. Well, then, your things are going to be blown away. You better go pick them up quickly. Wan Yanxi made up an excuse, and the black-haired girl immediately shifted her gaze to the scattered books and folders on the ground. In fact, they were not blown away by the wind because there was no wind now. When the black-haired girl turned her gaze towards Wan Yanxi again, she could no longer see Wan Yanxi's figure. She wanted to say something, but swallowed it up and began to pick up books on the ground. In the pile of books, she found something that Wan Yanxi had left behind. Wan Yanxi, the name sounds quite nice. The girl smiled and looked around, seeing no one around. She put this thing in her pocket and thought of returning it to her tomorrow, because she realized that Wan Yanxi and herself were in the same class, and tomorrow was the start of class, so she should be able to see her tomorrow. It's over, it's over. Wan Yanxi thought to himself, running towards home all the way, while also holding onto his hat with his hand, afraid that his fox ears would be seen again. After running for almost 10 minutes, Wan Yanxi couldn't hold her breath, her face was full of sweat, and her legs were a bit soft. It must be said that after becoming a fox-eared girl, her physical fitness really declined a lot. However, what she needs to do now is to go home quickly. She doesn't want anyone's foxtail to leak out and be discovered. Upon returning home, Wan Yanxi's first task was to immediately see what his foxtail looked like. Taking off the hat, the white fox ears still look like that. So, how did the tail appear? What exactly happened when there was still no one in the morning? Wan Yanxi stood sideways in front of the mirror, lowered his head, and looked at the hem of his skirt. As he grabbed the hem with both hands, he had a strange feeling, nervous and excited, and shook his head suddenly. What am I thinking? Am I a girl now? Wan Yanxi slowly lifted his skirt, and as the hem slowly lifted up, his white and tender thighs slowly exposed. It wasn't until the moment the fox tail appeared in the mirror that Wan Yanxi didn't pull the hem up. Oh, my goodness! Wan Yanxi fiercely grabbed the tail behind her to verify whether she was dreaming, because this scene appeared on her. For a while, he really suspected that he was dreaming, but the pain that hit her scalp made her completely understand that she was not dreaming. So, this time, I became a true fox-eared girl with fox ears and fox tails. Ha ha ha, ah ah ah. Wan Yanxi first laughs before howling. Laughing is because she can experience things that girls can only do. Howling is because of the fox ears and tail. What should we do? After much thought, Wan Yanxi didn't come up with a good solution either. Forget it, let's just do it. Anyway, in the future, he should dress more tightly and try not to let anyone know. It seems like this plot has been seen somewhere before. Why is it so troublesome when it comes to oneself? Just now I was sweating all over, and now I feel a sticky and uncomfortable feeling. Coupled with my wet underwear, it feels even more uncomfortable. Wan Yanxi began to feel the difficulty of being a girl. As usual, holding the men's shirt she used to wear, she wore it at home and didn't go out, it didn't matter much. Besides, Qiling is not here now, and she dare not enter Qiling's room, afraid of being beaten up by Qiling when she comes back. Hee hee. After taking off her skirt, she looked at herself in the mirror, wearing only underwear and underwear. Her slender body, long white hair hanging behind her, paired with a pair of white fox ears, finally locked her gaze on the bulge on her chest. Just a moment, a moment. Wan Yanxi raised his hand and slowly lifted it towards his chest, swallowing a mouthful of saliva. Finally, when his hands were placed on the soft surface of his chest, he felt his brain in chaos, his heart beating faster, and his face burning with excitement, which was too intense. No, 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 Wan Yanxi took away his hand, decisively took off his underwear, opened the water valve, stopped looking in the mirror, panted lightly, and his brain still felt a bit dizzy. He really didn't know what unexpected consequences would come from being too stimulated. While taking a shower, Wan Yanxi played with his tail because it looked quite fun. The tail was not too long, but it happened to run from the base of the tail to the waist. The entire tail's fur was pure white as snow, the same color as the ears, but slightly different from the white of the hair, it was more glossy. By the way, can this tail move? Wan Yanxi began to verify his idea, after all, not all animal tails can move. Maybe even his own tail can move now. After repeated attempts, Wan Yanxi was finally able to make the tail behind him move, but he was not very proficient. In the future, he should be able to move more flexibly by trying more. His ears can't move, but the tail can move, which is quite good. Chapter 4. Girls should learn to dress up. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's comfortable. Close the water valve, wash your body until it smells fragrant. Wait, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Wan Yanxi raised his arm and carefully sniffed the smell on his body. Well, it doesn't seem like the scent of shower gel, does it? At this moment, Wan Yanxi had an answer in his heart, yes. This is the scent of a girl's body. Standing in front of the mirror again, with hands akimbo, my gaze first fell on my cheeks, then slowly looked down, from my chin to my neck, and then to my chest. The sound of my heart pounding and accelerating echoed in my ears, but I didn't dare to look down anymore. I just touched the ups and downs of my chest with my hands, but one day I will get used to it. Wiping the water droplets off her body with a towel, Wan Yanxi hesitated for a moment when encountering some sensitive areas. She always had to face what was supposed to come and quickly dried those areas. Her body still felt a slight sensation, making her cheeks involuntarily hot. Only the fox ears and tail remained to be wiped dry. He wrapped another towel around his ears and gently wiped them dry. Not to mention, it was quite comfortable to wipe his ears like this. Wan Yanxi was a bit intoxicated, and this comfortable feeling was indescribable. So how do we deal with the tail? Wan Yanxi's idea was to use a hair dryer because his hands were short and his tail was short, so he could touch it. However, it was unlikely to dry it, so a hair dryer was his best choice. Wearing only a blue T-shirt, which was just enough to cover a part of her thighs, she wanted to dry her tail before leaving the bathroom. After leaving, she returned to the room and turned on the hair dryer. With one hand holding the hair dryer, she blew it towards her tail, swaying her tail while blowing. The previously wet fur began to fluff up and look even bigger. Feeling her tail, it felt quite good. I'm exhausted. Wan Yanxi finally blew the hair off his tail dry. Next time, let Qiling help him blow it, it's really tiring. I'm back. Qiling's voice came from the door, and Wan Yanxi walked out of the room upon hearing it. When he saw Ling Jie, he said, "Ling Jie, what do you have for dinner?" Why don't you wear clothes?" A few question marks appeared on Wan Yanxi's head. Where am I not wearing it? Isn't that right? He grabbed his T-shirt and shook it twice. Qi Ling sighed and put down the bag in her hand, saying, "At least you should dress well. Look at what you look like now." Upon hearing Qiling's words, Wan Yanxi lowered his head and looked at it. The T-shirt was too big, so it would expose his chest, but it seemed like something was missing. "Oh, you're not wearing underwear, are you? Oh, if a man sees this, what should I do with you? Fortunately, it's me. Your original clothes don't fit well, so I need to help you buy some more." When did you grow a tail? Qiling saw Wan Yanxi's furry fox tail behind her and immediately walked towards her, carefully examining her fox tail. Wan Yanxi shook his head and said, "I don't know how it came out. It wasn't yet in the morning, it seems like I discovered it after being hit by a girl at school." While Wan Yanxi was speaking, Qiling grabbed her tail and stroked it. Her smooth and shiny white hair was fluffy, and the touch was surprisingly good. "It's so comfortable, it's fluffy, Yanxi. Let me touch it more in the future, it's so comfortable." Qiling buried her face in Wan Yanxi's fox tail, rubbing her cheeks back and forth. It was really comfortable, and there was a faint fragrance. All right, don't hold on to my tail. Can you let me go put on some clothes?" Wan Yanxi actually quite likes being touched by people's tails like this, but for some reasons, she still wants to stop Qiling because she feels like a cat. "Okay, I'll go get you some clothes. After dinner, we'll go buy some clothes. Okay, we'll all listen to you." Wan Yanxi took out a bottle of chilled cola from the refrigerator, put 2 ice cubes in the glass, poured in the cola, and took a sip. It's satisfying," he said. Qiling brought her clothes and saw her drinking cola. She reminded her, "Drink less and we'll have dinner later. Let's change our clothes first." Wan Yanxi nodded, took the lingerie in a light purple dress handed over by Qiling, and sighed, "There's nothing I can do. Who makes you a real girl now? Wear underwear first, then underwear," but Wan Yanxi found that he couldn't fasten the button on the back, so he had to seek help from Qiling in the end. "Ling, come and help me." "What's wrong?" "I can't button it up." "I'll teach you how to catch it this way, then slowly approach it, and that's it. So it's like this." According to Qiling's instructions, Wan Yanxi easily buttoned the button, which was simpler than she thought, and she thought it was very difficult. After helping Wan Yanxi solve the underwear problem, Qiling returned to the kitchen to prepare dinner. After Wan Yanxi put on his skirt, she went to help Qiling. After dinner was ready, the two finished their meal and began preparing to go out. "Yanxi, come over here. What's up? Wan Yanxi walked to Qiling's room and found that Qiling was already dressed up. He thought Qiling was going to help her on his own. Qiling placed her hands on Wan Yanxi's shoulders and smiled lightly. To become a cute girl, you need to learn to dress up. Look at how disheveled you are now. This is not acceptable. Today, I will teach you. What kind of ghost? Come on, come on. Qiling asked Wan Yanxi to sit in front of her dressing table. Wan Yanxi seemed to see a strange smile at the corner of Qiling's mouth, as if he had fallen into her trap. Let me dress you up beautifully. I don't want it. Just as Wan Yanxi was about to get up, she was immediately pressed down by Qiling and grabbed her fox ear. She gently rubbed it with her hand, and Wan Yanxi felt as if she had been electrified. A crisp and numb feeling came from the fox ear, and a strange feeling appeared in her heart. Just be honest and obedient, don't waste time. As Qiling spoke, her hands were already busy. First, she divided Wan Yanxi's white hair into 2 strands and planned to braid her hair in 2 very neat ways. In less than 10 minutes, she finished braiding both strands and tied them with 2 bow hair accessories. Then, she tidied up Wan Yanxi's bangs and looked at him in the mirror. Qiling nodded somewhat satisfied. After Qiling finished taking care of Wan Yanxi, even Wan Yanxi was captivated by her own appearance, let alone Qiling. It's really cute, I think we can't let you dress up like this and go out to harm people in the future. Qiling hugged Wan Yanxi's neck and crazily rubbed her cheek, unable to resist such a cute fox-eared girl. Okay, let go of me, it's so uncomfortable. Qiling didn't notice that she was hugging too tightly. Only when Wan Yanxi said this did she let go of Wan Yanxi's neck, and the sound of Wan Yanxi coughing immediately came to her ears. Ling Jie, you're trying to kill me. Wan Yanxi glared at Qiling, with a hint of blame in his eyes. Cough, it's all an accident, it's all an accident. Don't be angry, Qiling rubbed Wan Yanxi's shoulder and a sincere smile on her face, which made Wan Yanxi feel much better. Wan Yanxi was actually just teasing Qiling a little, but didn't want to be seen through by Qiling at once. He pretended to have lost his anger and said, all right, I'm not angry. Let's go, it's already dark. Okay, let's go then. Qiling left the room with enthusiasm, grabbed the car key, and waited for Wan Yanxi at the door. Put on a hat, cover the fox's ears, check if they are exposed, and then see if the tail is hidden before going out with Qiling. Chapter 5. The first shopping after becoming a fox girl. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh hey, there are too many people here, Qiling looked up at the endless crowd. The commercial street at night was really bustling. Wan Yanxi stood next to Qiling, looking around at the shops. It seemed like they were all selling women's clothing. That's right, she seemed to remember that Qiling brought her to a neighborhood specializing in women's clothing. Yanxi, hold on to my hand, don't get lost. Qiling grabbed Wan Yanxi's small hand and slipped into the crowd. Oh. Wan Yanxi was too small and was pushed back and forth by people coming and going, but Qiling did not hear her mournful cries, just led her forward. Finally, after walking for about 10 minutes, I said, oh my, it's finally here. I'm exhausted. I'm just tired, okay. Wan Yanxi grabbed his hat with one hand and was grabbed by Qiling with the other. Because he had been constantly being pulled before, Wan Yanxi felt a bit uncomfortable in his right arm. Qiling leaned closer to Wan Yanxi, patted her shoulder, and said, all right, I'll treat you to some milk tea. After finishing the milk tea, we'll go around. She then pointed to the nearby milk tea shop. Wan Yanxi sighed with a hint of helplessness, then I'll have a plain glass with more pearls. Qiling nodded and immediately walked towards the milk tea shop. Wan Yanxi's gaze followed Qiling until she saw a familiar figure in front of the milk tea shop door. What flavor do you want to drink? Strawberry flavor, right. 2 cups of strawberry flavored ones, then. 1 cup is enough. Let's have a drink together, I can't drink much. The last couple in front of the milk tea shop smiled at each other, and Wan Yanxi's gaze never left the girl. The boy standing next to her was half a head taller than her, and his appearance was quite outstanding, at least better than him. Unfortunately, that position was once owned by Wan Yanxi, but now it is not. There was a hint of desolation in her eyes, but fortunately she wouldn't recognize Wan Yanxi in this appearance, otherwise Wan Yanxi really wouldn't know what to say. So it's like this, no wonder, Wan Yanxi muttered to himself. As soon as he spoke, his words were swallowed up by the noise of the crowd, unable to reach her ears, let alone the sadness at the moment. Suddenly, something swayed in front of him. Wan Yanxi withdrew his gaze and saw Qiling standing next to him, holding 2 cups of milk tea in his hand. What are you looking at? Are you looking at handsome men or beautiful women? Qiling followed Wan Yanxi's gaze and seemed to understand something. That should be your former girlfriend, right? Why are you dating someone else now? Did you get drunk that day because you broke up with her? Qiling turned her head to look at Wan Yanxi and saw her calm face. It was only then that she realized she had asked something she shouldn't have asked. Wan Yanxi nodded, his nose soured, and he took a few breaths, but his eyes became moist. All right, it's all over, I shouldn't have asked you. It's okay, I just need time. The river of time can dilute memories, but it cannot erase the traces left behind. As long as the traces are left, once you recall them, you will still remember the pain of the past. Qiling silently stared at her, unsure of what to say. These were all the paths she had to take and also the experiences she had to go through. Only by experiencing them can she grow. Taking out the tissue from his pocket, he handed it to Wan Yanxi's hand. Instead, Wan Yanxi quickly wiped the corners of his eyes with the back of his hand, took a few deep breaths, calmed his mood, and said, let's go. Take your milk tea. Wan Yanxi took the milk tea from Qiling's hand and took a few gulps, feeling much better. Qiling saw that her face had improved a bit, grabbed her little hand, and smiled lightly at her, saying, let's continue shopping. I think it would be more appropriate to help you buy a small shoulder bag. Let's go. Before Wan Yanxi could reply, Qiling immediately picked up her hand and walked towards a nearby store. Entering the store, there were all girls inside, but for some reason, when Wan Yanxi and Qiling walked into the store, there were still many glances towards them, but more of them fell on Wan Yanxi. Ling Jie, did I reveal something? Wan Yanxi leaned closer to Qiling, tiptoed slightly, and whispered in Qiling's ear. With his eyes fixed on the surroundings from time to time, he could always see many people looking at him. Qiling looked at Wan Yanxi, with her hat on her head well and her tail not showing. Then she looked around and saw several pairs of eyes looking towards her. After she scanned for a week, they quickly withdrew their gaze. Qiling let out an "oh" in her heart and whispered, no, they saw you because you were too beautiful. It turns out that being too good-looking is not enough, sighed Wan Yanxi in his heart. Well, I think you should like this and it goes well with you. Qiling held a white shoulder bag in her hand, which looked like a rabbit. It was only slightly larger than half an A4 paper, and there was no problem putting down a bottle of water. The bag was embroidered with patterns resembling rabbit heads, especially the 2 rabbit ears, which were small and exquisite. No, this looks great. What's going on? That's what it means. Qiling tugged at the 2 ears on the shoulder bag, and Wan Yanxi suddenly understood. She only felt the ears on her head tremble. She didn't want Qiling to tug at her fox ears like this. Okay, then buy this one. Let's hurry up and leave. Don't worry, let's see if there's anything else we can buy. Hey. Wan Yanxi didn't care what Qiling thought, he just pulled her to the front desk to settle the bill. She didn't want to be stared at by so many people anymore. The more people looked at her, the more uneasy she felt. She was afraid that if she accidentally revealed something, it would be disastrous. At the checkout, the young lady at the front desk was stunned by Wan Yanxi for 2 seconds. Perhaps only Wan Yanxi himself didn't know how beautiful he was now. Oh, why are you in such a hurry? I also want to help you buy some other things. Don't, you should buy it online. It feels like going out shopping with you is just to suffer. Wan Yanxi wiped the sweat off his palms and carried the shoulder bag he just bought. Not to mention, it looked pretty good. Okay, then let's go buy clothes now and go back after finishing. Qiling looked around, looking for the direction when she came. Wan Yanxi sighed helplessly. She had forgotten the purpose of coming out tonight. If it weren't for Qiling mentioning it, she would have wanted to go back like this. Following Qiling through 2 more streets, we finally arrived at a clothing store, which is quite large in scale and has many customers. There are various types of women's clothing available. Qiling and Wan Yanxi walked straight into the store, asked a few questions at the front desk, and then led Wan Yanxi through a small door on the side to the second floor. There were no people on the second floor, but the lights were still on. There were steaming tea and pastries on the coffee table, and this place looked more like a decoration in the living room. Xiaojia, I'm here. Oh, you finally came. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Chapter 6. Unexpected Joy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 7. Cultivating Emotions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh, my body and mind are tired. Wan Yanxi sat in the passenger seat, relaxing his body, but his heart was tired but he couldn't ease it. What are you tired of? Just change your clothes a few times. I've chosen the style for you, so I'm tired, right? Qiling said while driving. It's tiring just like this. I think we should go online shopping next time. Then you can choose for yourself, but these clothes should be enough for you to wear. Wan Yanxi turned his head to look at the various bags placed on the back seat, then thought of the scene of trying on clothes and shook his head lightly. I'm all tired, Wan Yanxi yawned. Then go back to sleep. Qiling drove towards home. I almost forgot something. Wan Yanxi took out a piece of paper from the newly purchased shoulder bag with Ling Machin's account written on it. He opened an X-Chat app, clicked on the ad page, entered Ling Machin's account, clicked add, and then waited for verification to pass. The buzzing phone shook twice in a dull manner, and before Wan Yanxi could close the screen, Ling Machin had already passed the verification. Yanxi, hello. Upon seeing the first message sent by Ling Machin, Wan Yanxi's lips curled up in an unknown way. He lightly tapped on the reply bar with his fingertips and typed 2 words, hello. But this is a bit too simple. Wan Yanxi roasted about herself after sending it, but she didn't know what to reply. Are you not staying on campus? Upon seeing the message sent by Ling Machin on the screen, Wan Yanxi immediately replied, yes, my sister and I live together, very close to the school. Before long, Ling Machin immediately sent a message saying, that's pretty good. After all, the dormitory conditions are not that good. Really? I haven't been to the dormitory much, so I feel really comfortable. After Wan Yanxi posted this sentence, Ling Machin let out a sigh expression. Wan Yanxi did not reply to the message because he had already arrived home. I said you and that little girl started chatting so quickly. Qiling asked, holding a bag in her hand as she went upstairs. How do you know I'm chatting with her? Wan Yanxi looked at Qiling in surprise. Isn't that obvious at first glance? I saw you chatting while you were in the car, so you shouldn't be interested in her, right? What, you've been overthinking it. Isn't this a new classmate you just met? Cultivate a sense of camaraderie, and that's what you said. Qiling let out a dull laugh, opened the door, and then said, who knows what kind of calculation you're up to, but with your current situation, it's unlikely that you'll catch her unless you change back. Wan Yanxi glanced at Qiling and said, how could you think of these things so badly about me? Besides, I don't want to be in love anymore. Qiling didn't say anything more. After entering the room, she put down her things and Wan Yanxi followed behind her. The first thing she had to do was close the door, take off her hat, and free the fox ears on her head. To be honest, it was a bit uncomfortable to keep pressing on her ears. Chilling threw all her newly bought clothes into the washing machine and saw Wan Yanxi sitting on the sofa eating. She sat next to her and picked up the potato chips in her hand to eat. "Yanxi, I think you will go out no matter what, but it will take some time. You can't be too pessimistic." Wan Yanxi's movement stopped, then continued to grab the potato chips and eat them. "No, let's forget about my appearance. Even if I change back, I don't want to talk anymore. It's good to be alone," he said. "Ah, maybe you think so now, but it's not certain in the future." "No, I'm pretty sure, don't try to persuade me." Wan Yanxi stood up and returned to the room, not wanting to say anything more about it. The more she continued, the more uncomfortable it became. Now she just wanted to forget. When she saw the phone on the table, the breathing light kept flashing, indicating that someone had sent her a message. The first thing she could think of was Ling Yuexi. At the moment the screen lit up, I immediately saw 4 unread messages from Ling Yuexi. "Have you returned home yet? I just returned to the dormitory. I'm a bit tired, I'll go to bed first. Good night." Wan Yanxi saw the last "good night" message and chuckled lightly, replying to it as well. However, this time Ling Yuexi did not reply to her messages again, probably falling asleep. "Putting aside my phone, I wandered around all night and felt a bit tired. I took off my dress, put on a T-shirt, and looked at my tail. I didn't consider wearing shorts, lying in bed, facing the ceiling, and didn't think anything. I put on my earphones and enjoyed the music. Only the melody played on my earphones echoed in my ear, making it especially comfortable to listen to music alone." Oh, he suddenly pressed his tail, and Wan Yanxi had to lie on his side. Indeed, having an extra tail can be inconvenient at times, making it difficult to sleep. However, he had to get used to it sooner or later, which was also forced. Listening to music, recalling some past scenes, the corners of my eyes unconsciously become moist. After calming down her emotions, the drowsiness eroded her consciousness, causing her to fall asleep and temporarily forget the painful memories. Only in dreams can she think of nothing. "Yanxi, get up quickly. I have to go to work later." "Well, I'll get up right away." Wan Yanxi was awakened from his dream by Qiling's call, grabbing the fox ear on his head. It was still there, but Wan Yanxi was thinking that one day, when his fox ear woke up, it might disappear. Wan Yanxi was about to change clothes when Qiling suddenly opened the door, which really scared her. "You haven't combed your hair yet. I'll help you comb it when you eat next. After changing clothes, hurry up and brush your teeth." Wan Yanxi nodded, put on his skirt, and tidied up a few strands of white hair in front of his forehead before going to wash up. After washing up, she sat at the dining table, eating while waiting for Qiling to help her comb her hair. Just as she finished, Wan Yanxi also finished breakfast. "You can eat anywhere you want at noon. I won't come back until tonight." "Okay, then I'll eat well at school." Wearing a hat and shoes, of course, Wan Yanxi did not forget his headphones, which were a necessity. He put them in his shoulder bag, prepared a small notebook and pen, and went out with Qiling. Chapter 8. First Day of School. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I'm leaving, please be careful and don't be targeted by bad people. Just as Wan Yanxi was about to say that he wouldn't be targeted by bad people, Qiling had already driven away. But is it too suspicious to be like this? Wan Yanxi touched the hat on his head and tightened it a bit, afraid that he wouldn't know when it would fall off. Apart from the hat on his head, there was nothing suspicious about it. There were also many people walking on the road wearing hats, which was quite normal, but why could he still feel a strange sight falling on him? The buzzing phone shook lightly twice, and Wan Yanxi took out the phone from his shoulder bag. When the screen lit up, the first thing that caught his eye was Ling Yuexi. Then he read the message she sent and said, "Look back." Wan Yanxi thought to himself, Ling Yuexi wouldn't be right behind him at this moment, so let's give it a try. Wan Yanxi really didn't believe that Ling Yuexi was right behind her, so he stopped and suddenly turned around, but happened to bump into Ling Yuexi. "Ha, I said you would turn around." Ling Yuexi straightened Wan Yanxi's body and smiled as she looked at her somewhat speechless expression. Wan Yanxi said lightly, "When did you follow behind me?" Ling Yuexi walked up to Wan Yanxi and said, "Just when I saw you, I happened to go out and buy something." Seeing the big bag of snacks in Ling Yuexi's hand, she knew she had gone out to buy something. "Are you sure you're eating so much alone?" Ling Yuexi immediately shook her head and said, "No, at least I'll eat with my roommate." "I'll give you a little too." "No need, you can keep it for yourself to eat." Ling Yuexi immediately took out a few bags of potato chips and cookies, and put them in a bag, handing it to Wan Yanxi. Wan Yanxi waved his hand and said, "No need, I don't eat much snacks. You can eat it yourself." "Oh, don't be polite, just take it for you." Ling Yuexi forced it into Wan Yanxi's hand, and Wan Yanxi had no choice but to accept it. Ling Yuexi saw Wan Yanxi take her hand and walked towards the direction of the teaching building, saying, let's go, and gather quickly. It won't be good if we're late later." "Hey, hey." Wan Yanxi was forcefully pulled forward by Ling Yuexi, but fortunately, he reacted quickly and promptly held down his hat, otherwise he would have been in big trouble if it was dropped. By the time the two of them arrived at the opening ceremony, they had already reached 2/3, about 100 people. "I'm quite strange. When I saw you yesterday, you were wearing a hat, and now you're also wearing a hat. There's no sun in the room, why don't you take off your hat?" Ling Yuexi stared at Wan Yanxi's side with a puzzled expression on her face. Just as Wan Yanxi was about to drink water, her hand holding the water bottle stopped in mid-air, her eyes lifted, and when she saw the brim of her hat, she swallowed a mouthful of saliva. "Well, there are some special reasons why I can't take off my hat." Wan Yanxi forced a smile and awkwardly looked at Ling Yuexi beside him. She didn't believe what she said, would she? "Really? Can you tell me what the reason is? Is it because you still have that pair of fox ears on your head?" Wan Yanxi suddenly let out a click in his heart. "What should I do?" I guess so." Ling Yuexi suddenly clapped her hands and said, "I understand. You just don't want to be eye-catching, right?" "No wonder." Wan Yanxi immediately nodded and lowered his volume a bit, saying, "As long as you understand, don't tell anyone." Ling Yuexi nodded and said, "I know, but your white hair will attract attention sooner or later." Wan Yanxi couldn't help but smile. "If I had a way, I wouldn't want to do this." As expected, when Wan Yanxi looked around for a week, he saw many eyes looking at her. "Please take your seats as soon as possible for the opening ceremony of the college to begin." Upon hearing this sound, Wan Yanxi immediately looked towards the podium. Standing there was a young man with short black hair, wearing a plaid shirt and sky blue jeans. His facial features looked quite delicate, and he felt that he was just 1 year older than them. "Oh, it turns out that the president is presiding over the opening ceremony," Ling Yuexi said as she looked at the young man on the podium. Wan Yanxi was also staring at the young man on the podium and said calmly, "Are you also from the student union?" Ling Yuexi nodded and said, "It's now, just added a few days ago." "This way." Wan Yanxi started tinkering with her phone. She was not even interested in this kind of opening ceremony, and she didn't care who was standing on the podium. Now she just wanted to finish the opening ceremony quickly and go home. Time passed by minute, and Ling Yuexi did not disturb Wan Yanxi. Wan Yanxi did not speak to her again until the end of the school opening ceremony. "Yanxi, I have something else to do." "You go first," Ling Yuexi said and immediately walked towards the podium, targeting the student union president who had just spoken. Wan Yanxi had not yet had a chance to reply, only to see her back blocked by other people who had left. He had no choice but to put on his headphones and follow the crowd to leave. As I walked on the road, I looked at the news from the newly added class group. Apart from a class meeting in room 202 of XX building in the afternoon, there was no other notice. Oh, I'm sorry. When Wan Yanxi was walking and looking at his phone, he didn't expect to bump into someone, but he could clearly feel that he had bumped into the girl's body. Don't ask why she knew. It's okay, just be careful next time. Upon hearing the beautiful ringtone, Wan Yanxi slowly lifted his head and saw clearly what the person standing in front of him looked like. He had dark long hair, half a head taller than Wan Yanxi, and was wearing a very formal uniform. It seemed to be similar to the uniforms in the anime he had watched, but it was quite good looking. Classmate, are you from the School of Literature? Coincidentally, I am also from the School of Literature. You should be the new student who came to attend the opening ceremony today. Wan Yanxi nodded and said, yes, we just finished the school opening ceremony. That's right. Do you want to join the student union? The literature and art department just needs people, and I think you are quite suitable. The girl in front of him smiled at Wan Yanxi, but he felt a little nervous. Well, I don't have any plans to join the student union. Don't refuse so quickly, I'm not a bad person either. Think about it. The girl immediately grabbed Wan Yanxi's hand, gently placed it in her palm, and then kissed the back of her hand, causing Wan Yanxi to break out in a cold sweat. Come on, the art department is so fun. You can play whatever you want, come on. Wan Yanxi was momentarily dazed by the girl's words. The other hand of the girl gently caressed her cheek, and the lightly rubbed fingertips made Wan Yanxi feel like he was electrocuted. The fragrance on the girl's body made Wan Yanxi lose his mind. Anyway, his heart was still a big old man. Do you want to come? Yin Yuexi, you've been deceiving and kidnapping here again. Chapter 9. Recruitment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Where am I called trickery, kidnapping, and deception? I'm called serious recruitment. I think it's okay if you're like this. I know there aren't many people in the arts department, but as the vice president, you can't do that either. Yin Yuexi pursed her lips slightly and glanced discontentedly at the man standing not far away. It was none other than the student union president who had previously presided over the opening ceremony. Ling Maqin saw the intimate behavior of Wan Yanxi and Yin Yuexi before, and her cheeks burned a bit. She quietly walked over to Wan Yanxi and pulled her away. Yin Yuexi saw Wan Yanxi being pulled aside and looked at the student president standing nearby with a resentful expression on his face. Duan Hongjiang, you are really going to ruin my good deeds. Yin Yuexi strode up to Duan Hongjiang and glared fiercely at him with wide eyes. I'm also trying to maintain the dignity of the student union. What if everyone is like you? How did I ruin the face of the student union? You should talk about it. Seeing the two of them arguing, Ling Maqin silently sighed and whispered to Wan Yanxi beside her, Yanxi, let's go. They will only calm down for a while. Wan Yanxi didn't want to get involved in these troubles either. He nodded and quietly left with Ling Maqin. When both of them calmed down, he realized that they had already slipped away. Yanxi, what do you want to eat? I don't know either. Wan Yanxi and Ling Maqin stood in the line playing rice, thinking about what to eat before seeing any dishes. After finishing the meal, the two of them found their seats and sat down. Yanxi, I think it's a bit strange for you to eat with a hat on. Wan Yanxi certainly understood in her heart, but what could she do? I have no choice, not wearing a hat is a bigger problem. Ling Maqin smiled knowingly and said, I understand, but your white hair is really rare. Wan Yanxi sighed and whispered, if I could change back, it wouldn't be like this now. Ha! What are you saying? Ling Maqin happened to be bowing her head to eat while Wan Yanxi was speaking, and she didn't hear Wan Yanxi talking to herself. It's nothing, nothing. Hurry up and eat. After finishing, hurry up and leave. Ling Maqin smiled faintly and could naturally understand the meaning in Wan Yanxi's words, okay. After finishing their meal, the two of them walked back to the dormitory together, but Wan Yanxi didn't have a dormitory and just stopped by the teaching building. Yanxi, do you have any plans to join the student union? Ling Maqin was still thinking about letting Wan Yanxi join the student union. Besides, now that Wan Yanxi has been targeted by the vice president, don't ask her how she found out, because she was like that in the beginning. Well, I don't have any ideas yet, maybe I won't add it. Compared to joining the student union, Wan Yanxi prefers to arrange his own free time. If he joins the student union, he will definitely have much less free time. Don't worry, everyone in the student union is doing well. You can come, so I can have a companion. Ling Maqin hugged Wan Yanxi's arm and began to act coquettishly. Wan Yanxi stood helplessly in place, feeling like his girlfriend was coquettish towards his boyfriend, and the soft touch on his arms, which was a bit comfortable. Alright, let me think about it again, don't make any fuss. How long do you have to consider? Wan Yanxi said so. Ling Maqin has not yet let go of her. It seems that without giving her a specific time, Ling Maqin will definitely not let go of herself. Afternoon, isn't there a class meeting in the afternoon? I'll get back to you after the meeting. Upon hearing this, Ling Maqin immediately let go of Wan Yanxi's arm and said, okay, I'll wait for your answer. After that, she hurriedly walked up to the dormitory building. Wan Yanxi watched as Ling Maqin's figure disappeared. Seeing her anxiously going upstairs, perhaps there was something urgent. Because there was no dormitory, Wan Yanxi had to find a place to rest on his own. Well, this place is pretty good. Wan Yanxi arrived at the top of the teaching building, which was empty except for a few broken chairs and tables. However, it was still a good secret resting place for her. Find a place to sit down, take off his hat, and stroke the pair of fox ears on his head. It was really uncomfortable to be under the hat all morning, and touching his own ears was quite comfortable. At some point, a strange smile appeared on Wan Yanxi's face. Oh, I feel comfortable now. Wan Yanxi comfortably stroked the tip of his tail, but why did he feel that it had become longer? It seemed like he could only barely touch the tip of his tail yesterday, but now it has become very relaxed. Something is not quite right. Take out your phone and the first thing you see is the message sent by Ling Maqin. Yanxi, won't you go home and rest at noon? Originally, Ling Maqin was still thinking about her rest. Wan Yanxi smiled faintly and typed a line of words on the screen. No, I'm resting here in the teaching building. That's good. Seeing these simple 3 words, I didn't reply to any more messages. After all, it was lunch break time. No, it feels like something is missing. At this moment, Wan Yanxi realized that there was a missing software on her phone, which was the fox ear software she used to use frequently. So, a thought came to her mind, maybe this software was the culprit who turned her into this appearance, but what was going on? After thinking for a long time, Wan Yanxi still didn't understand. After sighing, he gave up. He didn't know how long his current appearance would last. Maybe he would change back as soon as he woke up, but if he did, there would definitely be a lot of trouble. The sound of receiving messages suddenly came from the phone, which only appeared when someone added them as friends, indicating that someone must have added themselves. Yin Yuexi. How did she know about my account? In thought, Wan Yanxi accidentally tapped her finger on the agree button. When she regained her senses, she realized that she had agreed to the application and saw the message sent by Yin Yuexi. Yanxi, hello. I got your account from Maqin. Actually, I just wanted to ask if you want to join the student union. Our art department still needs you very much. Wan Yanxi stared at the line of words on the screen and sighed helplessly. What do you need yourself for? Do you need her to sell her color scheme? Senior, I actually don't know what I can do to help, and I don't have any outstanding abilities either. It's okay, you can join the student union and learn slowly. Come on, come to the arts department. Yin Yuexi sent a few pitiful expressions again, hoping to let Wan Yanxi join the student union. Wan Yanxi also returned with an expression. Originally, he had no thoughts, but now it seems that it's not enough not to join. Senior, can I reconsider? I don't think you need to consider it anymore. Wan Yanxi didn't understand what it meant and didn't respond to the news immediately. It was just a sudden voice coming from behind that made her realize that she was going to be ruined. Because you can't run away. Chapter 10. Almost exposed. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Wan Yanxi's hair stood up all over her body, and the fox ears on her head stood up like springs. Her body shook violently because the voice she heard was from Yin Yuexi. The two crisp footsteps of stepping echoed in her ears, but Wan Yanxi didn't immediately shift her gaze because she knew it was too late. Oh, so that's why you're wearing a hat. Yin Yuexi walked slowly towards Wan Yanxi, looking up and down at Wan Yanxi's appearance, which should be said to be a thorough examination. Wan Yanxi slowly turned his gaze towards Yin Yuexi's direction, stiff like a robot, and whispered, "Well, senior sister, I have a reason for doing this, can I? I know I won't tell anyone, but what?" Yin Yuexi didn't speak anymore and sat next to Wan Yanxi, with a faint smile on his face that made Wan Yanxi feel uneasy. But what? Wan Yanxi swallowed a mouthful of saliva and sat restlessly. I have some conditions, and joining the student union is certain. Of course, I need you to help me with some things, but I haven't figured it out yet. Wan Yanxi had a very bad premonition in his heart, but what could he do? If I had discovered Yin Yuexi earlier, it wouldn't have been like this. No matter how much I think, it would have been a tear. While Wan Yanxi was still daydreaming, Yin Yuexi's hand was already touching her ear. Oh my, it's soft and fluffy, it feels really good to the touch. Yin Yuexi grabbed Wan Yanxi's fox ear, sometimes gently and gently, sometimes pinching it with a little force. Not only did Yin Yuexi feel comfortable, but also Wan Yanxi. Senior sister, don't touch it anymore. If you touch it, you will. Ah, what will happen? Ong. Yin Yuexi breathed a gentle breath into her fox ear, and his fingertips lightly brushed over it, creating an indescribable sense of comfort like an electric current coming from the fox's ear, causing Wan Yanxi to let out a comfortable low moan. Isn't it quite comfortable? No, don't hold on to that place, it will become strange, senior. Wan Yanxi's fox tail was also caught by Yin Yuexi because her tail was swaying uncontrollably, and was immediately discovered and captured by Yin Yuexi. Wow, there's still a tail, it feels better to touch. Wan Yanxi began to feel a burning sensation on his cheeks, feeling a bit dizzy. No, don't touch it, senior sister. Don't worry, just touch it for a while, change your posture. Yin Yuexi hugged Wan Yanxi's waist, placed her on his thigh, and began to enjoy the fox tail. 5:55 Wan Yanxi's heart was crying. It was too difficult, everyone was like this. Once she found the fox ear and tail, she began to torture herself, but she couldn't help it. Yin Yuexi is quite satisfied, at least her expression is quite cheerful from beginning to end. When it comes to furry things, Yin Yuexi has little resistance, especially for cute things like Wan Yanxi. Your tail and ears are too realistic. Well, you may not believe it when you say it, it's actually true. Oh, come on, it hurts so much. Seeing Wan Yanxi close his eyes in pain, Yin Yuexi no longer doubted and began to feel it on his own. More than 10 minutes had passed, and Yin Yuexi had already become addicted to it, but Wan Yanxi only felt uncomfortable all over his body and mentally collapsed. He sat beside Yin Yuexi with a dull gaze, as if he had been violated. All right, I won't tell anyone about your secret. Are you free this afternoon? Holding his own tail, he replied, I should be free after the class meeting. The class will only start tomorrow. Upon hearing this, Yin Yuexi's lips quietly curled up and said, all right, send me a message after the class meeting. Although Wan Yanxi didn't want to agree, he nodded and had no choice. That's it, I still have to go back to the student union. By the way, I'll send you a form and you can fill it out. Even if you officially join the student union, welcome to join. Yin Yuexi finally gave Wan Yanxi a sweet smile and left the rooftop. Wan Yanxi sat in place, tidying up his messy tail hair, feeling like a cat, but it was still comfortable to touch his own tail. Ah, what should we do now? Wan Yanxi sighed for no reason, and now another person knew her secret. If it really gets exposed one day, wait until that day before we talk. Unconsciously, it was almost time for the class meeting. Wan Yanxi put on his hat, hid his ears, and then his tail. He arrived at the designated classroom according to the location notified by the class group. Perhaps due to arriving too early, there were only 3 or 4 people in the classroom, one of whom was still a teacher, probably the homeroom teacher. During the waiting time, Wan Yanxi lay on the table listening to the song, until Ling Maqin sat beside her. Yanxi, have you made up your mind? Ling Maqin just sat down and immediately asked. Wan Yanxi took off his earphones, remained silent for a moment, and said, well, I've figured it out. I'll join the student union. Yeah, I knew you would join the student union. Ling Maqin grabbed Wan Yanxi's hand and laughed happily. Now let's start the class meeting. I am your homeroom teacher, Li Mu. I will spend the next time with you. Listening to the homeroom teacher speaking some regular opening remarks on the podium, Wan Yanxi looked around the classroom and saw that there weren't many people, only about 30, but about the same number of people in a university class. Next, let's start introducing ourselves. Everyone knows their student ID, so if you don't know, take a look at your campus card. Your student ID is on the card, and from childhood to adulthood, take turns to introduce yourself on stage. Wait, why did you introduce yourself? But it seems quite normal. Usually, this happens when school starts, but Wan Yanxi looked at the hat on his head and was lost in thought. There shouldn't be any problem, Wan Yanxi thought to himself. According to the homeroom teacher's instructions, the first person in front of the student ID stepped onto the podium. He was a boy who first wrote his name on the blackboard and then began to introduce his interests and hobbies. The rest of the students also followed his pattern and introduced themselves. Yanxi, the next one is you. Ling Maqin noticed that Wan Yanxi was in a daze and lightly touched her arm, reminding her. I know, I'm organizing language. As soon as Wan Yanxi finished speaking, the people on the podium had already come down, which meant it was her turn. With a nervous and uneasy heart, Wan Yanxi walked up to the podium, still thinking about how to explain the reason for wearing a hat. He stood in front of the blackboard, picked up chalk, wrote his name, and then slowly turned around to face the crowd below. My name is Wan Yanxi, and my hobbies are watching anime and listening to music. In a few brief words, Wan Yanxi was about to step down from the podium when the homeroom teacher suddenly spoke up, why are you wearing a hat on your head? Wan Yanxi took a deep breath. It was time to come, but she had already figured out the reason and said, for some reason, I can only wear a hat. I won't be able to explain the specific reason. After that, Wan Yanxi walked down from the podium as soon as possible to avoid being asked again. However, because of her words, more people were curious about what secret was hidden under her hat.